Hello and welcome to Salvage Saturday with me, Adam. This week we are tackling a grade 3 ship, one grade above what we did last week, and you can see straight away that there's a bit more complexity added to the ship. It's the same type of ship, it is a Mackerel in the cargo configuration again, but there are some added intricacies this time around. It's also a medium difficulty version. There is a hard version as well. We'll see how we get on with this one for the moment. You can see as well in the work order that there's a few extra things in there compared to before. We have electrical and mechanical items to collect.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Fortunately, the aerial counted as an electrical item, and unfortunately one of them doesn't seem to have landed in the barge. That's unfortunate. We'll continue on anyway.
Pressure level decreasing.
Get ourselves set up and in towards the reactor. So not much more added complexity. That there we need to turn just to get the thrusters out later. It's a kind of manual override to release them, otherwise you can't pull them out. Easy as that. Cut that panel away, get the reactor down again. That's not too bad. In the interest of full disclosure as well, I know I said in last week's video that this would be the first attempt at a grade 3 ship. That's not strictly true. I've been hamstrung slightly by some technical difficulties, so trying to record my gameplay for this. It's nothing to do with the game, it's purely, the capture software and stuff I was doing that just wasn't working. I was getting really stuttery video and then it wouldn't record the audio properly, and it was a whole mess. But I seem to have fixed that this time. Hopefully things will continue to improve. That looked like the air, but apparently it's not going in. Well, let's move on anyway to the next thing. Let's see what we're looking for. Right, the power cell is on the right hand side, so we'll cut into this panel. Trying not to hit the fuel tanks at the back. That beeping was to tell us that the cutter was about to overheat. Stop ourselves getting set on fire, we didn't do that. Yeah, the fuel shut off. That flushes the fuel out of the system and into the tank, which we can salvage on its own as well, presumably later. That's the nacelle cut out. You remember in the last video we were able to cut them straight from the outside. This time it was a bit more securely attached to the ship. We had to cut it from inside so that we could release it. So that's a wee bit of a complexity that's different.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
So I think next week again we'll move on to the grade 4 ships, and they're completely different because it's a completely different style of ship. Instead of the Mackerel, it will be a Gecko. So hopefully that will prove a bit more challenging. There's also, I'll probably do a hard version of the Mackerel ships as well at some point in the future, because between all of my lost recordings, I've tried a few different ones, a few different configurations, and the difficulties in the hard has added complexities again compared to this, and extra things for you to salvage. So the likes of the fuel and the coolant starts becoming a part of it. You're getting asked to recover so many kilograms of fuel, which, if you're lucky, you'll find a load of them in the hold. of the ship, as well as in the fuel tanks that you can actually salvage from the inside of the ship as well. There might be some
Valuable object. Credits
valuable sitting in the cargo holds of the ships, right in the middle for you to unlock. That's quite handy. Just in the same way as you hope to find oxygen and stuff. Sometimes you find items that you're looking for salvage anyway, just sitting in there. And even things like the storage boxes and stuff like that starts to become part of it.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
That one there is the airlock. I'm still not entirely sure how to salvage those, or what the best way of doing it is, but we're getting there anyway.
Tether supplies running low.
I have to say, I quite enjoy the kind of the act of basically dismantling the whole side of the ship like that, and pulling it all apart. So I quite like that. This one as well is it's actually connected slightly by the pipe junction. So in the more complicated ships, when the fuel pipe runs all the way along the end, all the way along the side of the ship, it becomes important to cut that off those junctions as well as the normal cut points that we've been dealing with up to this point. Oh, look at that. So, one partially dismantled ship, pretty much. It's not bad.
Warning. Your oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically
And then we can
profitable
pull the
levels.
power cell out, easy peasy. And then the same for the coolant tank, just on the other side of
Salvage secured.
the airlock.
Credits deposited.
And then, with that done, we can go get ourselves some valuable oxygen, because we'll need it. Yeah, you'll maybe notice as well, compared to last week's video, I just broke my wrist, but no. Now, compared to last week's video, we're moving a wee bit quicker. That's because I've unlocked some more upgrades and managed to complete some of my work orders, even though I wasn't able to actually record them properly. So we've made some advances in that sense as well. There's still plenty more to go. We've still got our, I always forget the correct word for it. I keep thinking of accreditation, but that's not the right phrase for what the game uses. You're grading basically for leveling up. It's basically a grade or level 7, and to fulfill level 6, sorry, and to upgrade to level 7, I still have to salvage a certain amount of value. I can't remember how many credits it is, but it's like 10 million or something like that, and also a certain weightage of aluminium, which I haven't got yet. Completed the other objectives that we had, which was like complete 20 work order objectives and stuff like that, and then a couple others. That's kind of how you level up. So that's in addition to the work order. You'll notice like the aluminium itself isn't on the work order. Metal is, but it's not aluminium specifically, and it tends not to be, or hasn't been so far on the ones that I've done. Maybe that'll be something that gets added in the future. We're fairly working our way through this ship anyway.
Salvage secured.
Getting there quite
Credits
quickly.
deposited.
That's all that done. Cut the data drive. These aren't part of the work order, but they're all worth money. It's easy enough to pull them down and fire them there.
Secured. Account credit applied.
The door locks count as mechanical. Oh, I think I just broke that one. Which is oopsies. And all the rest of that stuff is kind of electrical stuff.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
I
transferred.
don't know why, I assumed that the door panels would have been electrical items for some reason, but they are mechanical. According to the work order anyway. 5 minutes to go. Plenty of time to finish off what we're doing, because we've not got that much more to worry about really. We're able to salvage the last wee bits of metal as well, in addition. And that we just salvaged there, the junction box, I'm assuming will have some kind of critical function in the more advanced ships compared to just now. It just strikes me as the sort of piece that you'll be able to like turn the electrical systems off or on or whatever to do things. Because I highly doubt that being able to just pull it off the wall is going to continue to be the way that you deal with it. Especially as they're going to try and make it more challenging as things go along, so just little things like that will get you through there eventually. You need to remember the cargo hatch goes down into the barge, it doesn't go off into the processor, which is where I tend to put it by mistake.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
That says we've completed our work order and we've dismantled, half a ship pretty much. Not quite entirely, but pretty much half a ship anyway. So what we'll do now is we'll just try and collect we'll cut some of these aluminium panels and just collect that for the remaining time, and that'll be our shift done and our video done for this week. So I do appreciate you watching the videos, and I appreciate any feedback about them. I want to improve and get better at these. So if you have any suggestions, or if there's things that you want to see, questions about the game, or things you want to see in the videos that I try and do, see if we can achieve any of those, show you the stuff that you want to see, as well as just having fun with the game. So I'm really enjoying it, I have to admit. I didn't enjoy the technical difficulties of my video editing, or recording I should say. The editing part's actually going to be relatively easy, thankfully, but it's just getting usable video that was the problem. But the game itself has been an absolute joy to play, and I've really enjoyed it. I like this, kind of slow dismantling of a ship, and I really particularly enjoy pulling the side panels of the ship away, like I did earlier. So I find that very, I don't know what the right phrase is. It's not amusing, but just very enjoyable. There's something about it you think, yeah, that's a cool thing to be doing. Problem with the panels as well, you've got to be careful how you cut them, because like that, you think that that's completely cut, but it's not. So if you're not careful, you'll fire yourself off into the furnace by mistake.
Alright, Cutter, wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
Yeah, that's us coming to the end anyway. We've got the work order complete. As I said, next week's video will be about the grade 4 ships, the Geckos. Completely different. All going well, the video I record will be the very first time that I actually try one of those. I'm going to take another couple of recordings just on these grade 3 ships. I'll try and get a good video of the hard difficulty one to put up as well at some point, but most importantly, thank you very much for watching. That's us at the end of the video. For more great content, you can check out outoflives.net. There's podcasts, there's articles, and there's some more videos where you can see this one. And thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next week.